First, I'm going to thank our sponsors, Tres Dulce, Ice Cream Parlor and Putt Putt, and Bavarian Bakery and Deli. And then I'm going to thank Dover Federal Credit Union for doing this presentation.
Thank you.
And,
Yep. Bye.
somebody
So I'll
needs
be able to hear this thing now.
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and let Taevann go ahead and start his presentation. And if everyone can mute themselves, we got some background coming in.
I'm sorry, that's not the volume. Where the hell is your volume?
So can everyone just verify that you can see my screen, the PowerPoint?
I'm not seeing it right now. You had it up.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, not muted.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Taevann Calloway. I'm here with Deborah Jewell, and we're from Dover Federal Credit Union. I am Dover Federal's marketing communications specialist. So a little bit what I do, I develop and put together campaigns, press releases, social media graphics and content. So if you follow us on social media, have ever seen any of our posts, more than likely I might have been the one that designed it, and 9 times out of 10 I use Canva to do so. Right. So today, focus of this presentation is what is Canva, how you can use it, and how you can leverage it for your small business. Canva is a very, very simple click and drag system, very user friendly, and that's why I enjoy using it. I do have experience using Adobe products. If anyone has ever used Adobe, you know that it's a little bit advanced, a little bit higher level than basic. Canva is not as complicated as Adobe is. So today we're going to go over how you can use it to leverage your business and use Canva to make some nice designs here. So the agenda for today, I'm gonna show you how to get started with Canva, some design basics. We're going to go through a live design session. I'm going to show you how to go into Canva and use it to make your own designs. Go over some tips and tricks that can help you be successful with your designs. Then we'll have a Q&A session. If you have any questions for me that I didn't cover or anything, or if we have some time left over, I can show you some other cool things that you can do within Canva, and then we will recap. If throughout any point in the presentation you get caught up, have a question, just throw a question into the chat, either raise your hand or put a message into the chat, and I can stop you and help. Does anybody have any questions before we get started? No? Okay. So first, I would like everyone to access Canva. So whether you're on your phone, laptop, or computer, you can either go to canva.com or scan the QR code to get Canva downloaded. Canva is accessible through web, mobile, and they have their own app on the Google and Apple store. So I'll give everyone about 2 minutes to get access to Canva.
While people are downloading that, can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
So you referenced Adobe. Do you feel like you can do the same things on Canva that you can do on Adobe, or do you feel like you need to use both?
I would say that there 9 times out of 10 I can do what I can do in Adobe and Canva. It's just the easier way to do it in Canva.
Yeah, it's clunky. Adobe feels clunky to me.
You're
Yeah.
right. There are a lot of things, advanced things that you can do in Adobe, but because I'm not on that level of graphic design yet, I don't really necessarily need to. Chris, he's our graphic designer. Well, he used to be our graphic designer. He's our productions manager now, but he doesn't use Canva at all. But that's because he has extensive Adobe experience and graphic design experience. So he's someone that uses Adobe every day. Me, I started off using Adobe, so I know my way around it. But once I was introduced to Canva, I was like, all right, this is more my speed here.
Okay, then thank you. I think that's what I'm gonna feel too. So appreciate that.
When you guys are referencing Adobe, are you referring to InDesign?
Yeah, so Adobe, I primarily use Illustrator, Photoshop, and a little bit of InDesign, but Adobe has so that just goes to show you how much like how extensive it is because Adobe has over like 10 different programs, and Canva mostly does most of that stuff in one. So just goes to show how like crazy Adobe can be compared to Canva. Yeah. Is everybody good with their access? Everybody is online and connected. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So like I mentioned before, Canva is a very, very beginner-friendly design program, and it is very drag and click. So you'll see once we get in and I start moving around in there, it's not very hard to pick up and decide and learn how to maneuver in there. It's a drag and click system. Um, I wanted to note that Canva is free to use. It is um, a free platform, but it does have a premium version that has additional features and resources. So me being someone that does use Canva Premium every day, it is well worth the investment. But if it's not something that you may be using every day, or you may use it every now and again, you can very much get away with the free version, but they do have a premium version. So we'll be operating in the free version today just to show what that looks like. And then if we have some time at the end, I'll show you what the difference between the free and the premium version looks like. Like I mentioned earlier, it is available on multiple platforms. So you can use it on mobile, you can use it on web and as an app, which I think is really cool because sometimes you're out. I know you guys are business owners, so you're out on the road and you may need a flyer real quick. You can pull your phone up and design something very easily on your phone, just like you can do on the computer. So I like that as well. And it also gives you the ability to create pretty much everything. So whether you sell t-shirts or you're a funeral home, you're a restaurant, you can create menus, t-shirts, flyers, large banners, literally anything. And I'll show once we get into Canva what that looks like and how you can access those different things. All right. So first I'm going to show you how to get signed up and get started with Canva if you haven't already got an account. Very, very easy process. So you're just going to come to their page and continue with your email. So I have a mock or example here. So I just have my email typed in here. Then you just hit continue. It's going to ask you to type in your name. So I have mine, Taevann Calloway. And then it's simply going to ask you after you sign up, what will you be using Canva for? And then that kind of caters to recommended designs and templates that they give to you based off of what you have. So it's really tailored to you. So I'm gonna also go ahead and go through the sign up process just so I can show you what that looks like and how easy it is. So I'm gonna type in my work email here. It's there. I'll hit continue. Type in my name. Hit continue. Send me a code. I'll get the code. And voila, I'm in. So it's not a very hard process to get in at all. It's going to ask me a couple questions, marketing and advertisement. It's only me. And then which of these work goals? And you can also skip this if I don't want to take any of that. I'll skip it. It's asking me if I want to try the Canva Pro for free. I would recommend doing that if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to use it, just so you can see the difference between the free and the premium version. It's a very, very good product. And Canva's not paying me to say that to you guys. I really, really do believe that. So now that we're in, we're going to go over some design elements. So first I'm going to start with templates. So a template If anybody doesn't know what a template is, I think we pretty much all know, but a template is kind of like a head start in Canva. It gives you sometimes a full-on design that you can use and customize to your own liking. Everything is fully customizable on Canva that you can start with, right? So let's say I want to have a flyer for a spring sale, right? It's springtime, weather's getting warm, and I want to do a spring sale. I'm going to come up to this search bar here, and this will allow me to search anything within Canva. I can also come down, there's a bunch of different ways for me to do this. I can also come down over here to this spot that says templates here, and I can click on that to search templates as well. Or if you noticed on the home page, there is a bunch of buttons up here that break down the different categories. So you have presentation, you have social media, you have video, you have print. So let's say I wanted to create a spring sale flyer or image for social media. I could click social media, and then it's going to give me all of the different of course, different types of social media up here at the top. So if I have Instagram or Facebook and I want to do a story, right, it'll give me the dimensions for an Instagram story or a post, right? You don't have to guess or know what size that is. It's going to give you the dimensions of everything, right? So as you see, it's giving you some templates here, but we're going to search for one, right? So let's say I want to create, or we're going to want to create a spring sale post here. I'm going to type in spring sale, then I'll click on Canva templates, and I'll hit spring sale, right? Now from here, you can filter because these are all different sizes, right? And when you're creating content, you do want the size to fit what you're using it for. So you don't want to use a Facebook size post that may not fit on Instagram because the dimensions may be different. So you always want to make sure that you're filtering and looking at what you're using it for. But let's say I want it to be Instagram. I can come over here and filter, and now I'm going to pick Instagram post. So now we'll hit apply, and it will give me all spring sale templates for Instagram, right? So I can go through, and as you can see, there are a bunch of different ones that I can choose from. So if you notice, some of them have that yellow crown on the right hand side. That is a pro template. So you either have to pay, I want to say it's $1 per element that you use under pro if you have a free account, but if you have a pro account and you pay for a pro account, you don't have to pay for those extra elements, right? So I can also come over here and filter it to be, let's see. It used to give you an option to filter for free only, but I guess they took that away. All right, but I'm gonna just simply click this first one here, click customize this template, and now it loads this template in for me, right? So from here, like I mentioned, everything in this space here is fully customizable. So how do you know what you're interacting with? When you move your mouse around this screen here, this purple box that pops up is going to outline the element. So this is a text box, what we call a text box. It's being outlined by this purple thing. So if I click this here, now I have a toolbox here at the top that fully customizes this. So I can go in and choose a different font. So if I wanted to make this, and like I said, this is very drag and click. So if I want this to look like handwriting, right, I can type in handwriting, and now it's going to give me a bunch of different fonts here that look like handwriting so that I can customize this the way that I want it to look. So let's say I want to go with finger paint. All I do is click on it, and I can now change this font to whatever I want this to be, right? So now I want to change the font to say Dover Federal Credit Union. And now I can now customize this font to, or customize this text box, and now I can make this look exactly how I want. So let's say I want to change the size. You have your sizing, font size here. You can either click on the size and type something in. So I want it to be 20, or I can use the plus and minus signs to make it bigger or smaller. So very simple, very easy to do. You also have your text color here. So you can choose from a bunch of different colors, preset colors that they have at the bottom, but you can also use a hex code if you have those or know what that is for your brand. You can type that into to here, or use the color system here to pick a color. So very, like I said, very straightforward, very easy to use. So say I want to make this color red. I'll click that and well, I have to highlight it. And
Taevann,
then,
do you
yes.
know if using the upgraded, you have to pay for the upgrade, the brand specific one, if you put in all of your fonts and colors that are appropriate for your brand, does it automatically populate in these templates?
It's not going to automatically populate it, but it does save them. So
Okay.
I like that you noticed that, because that was something I was going to mention in a little bit. But I'm glad that you asked. So when I come here and I come into a template or I come into a project and I want to change a color, normally, if I don't have a brand kit set up, anytime that I want to pick a color and I'm going to use that color often, I either have to have it, sometimes it pops up in recently used, but if you use a bunch of different colors, obviously those are going to cycle in and out. But if you have a brand kit, those colors stay in this spot here so that it's automatically there. You don't have to search it up. You don't have to type in a hex code every time. It's just there. So if you notice, when I clicked on brand, it has a whole setup here that you can do. So if you have logos like most of us do, you can add those logos to this brand kit, colors, fonts, any photos, graphics, or icons that you're going to use all the time. You can put that in this brand kit here, and it's easily accessible for you to be able to use. So that is something that I do utilize, because a lot of our content that we make does have specific logos and color sets with them. So I do utilize a lot, and it saves me a lot of time from having to go look for a logo or look for a color or go back and look for a hex code or a RGB code to type in for a color. So it is very, very time efficient for, yes.
And I will say too that while we might like the looks and feels of some different imagery, if you do have a certain specific look and brand for your company, be sure to stick with that when you're creating your content. If you see some things that you think are really like fun and colorful but not really work related, save those maybe for invitations that you're gonna have, at your home for parties and so forth. But really try and utilize the different styles they have in here to make your brand come to life. So just keep that in mind as you're creating the content, because this makes everything look super professional, but be sure that you don't stray too far away from your logo, from your brand guidelines, from, your font style that your company is known for. Like, make that come to life, but use it consistently.
Thanks, Deb. So as I continue to work through this template here, very easy to move. So you see we have 3 buttons here that I can use. So this one here is to rotate. So if for some reason you need to rotate, this is a fully 360-degree rotatable. Everything in Canva for the most part is rotatable. So for some reason I wanted this to be 90 degrees, I can rotate it this way. But if I want to put it back, I can just rotate it there. There is a movement icon here, so I can take this, click on it, and move it anywhere I like. So I want to move it down here. I can move it here. That's just one of the different ways that you can move it. There's also a position button here. So if you notice this button right here that says position, if I click on that there, I can align these text. I can align any element, but since we're on the text side, we'll move to text. So if I want it to the top of the screen, I can hit top. It'll move to the top, middle, bottom, left, or right. Another thing I like about Canva is that it gives you guidelines. So as you see, I'm moving this around. There are different dotted lines that pop up. These are what are called guidelines, so that you're not, so that your elements and that your content is balanced, right? So if I didn't put it in the middle and I want to drag it to the middle, it's going to give me eventually a line there to show that I'm kind of in this specific box there to make sure that it's balanced or that it's right aligned to another element. So it gives you a lot of additional help and guidelines to make sure that your content is put where it's supposed to be. So let's move on down to these elements here, these graphics. So as you see these flowers here, butterflies, flowers, there's buttons in here. These are all fully customizable, like I said. So if you want, for some reason, this flower here that we have to be different colors, right? See how these different color buttons popped up here at the top? I can now change these. So if I want this brown that's in here to be a pink, I can click down on a different color here and change it to pink. I can make it purple, orange, yellow. I can change it to blue, and everything in this template here is fully customizable. So I want to make a nice green flower. I can change that to green, and I'll come over here and make this one pink in the middle, and then I'll change the white to gray. And now I just completely just change the flower in 30 seconds from all from this template. So this is not something that you have to completely make up yourself. Templates are a really, really easy way for you to get a head start on a nice visually appealing design. All you have to do is just kind of come in and kind of make it your own based off what you want it to say. Let's see. So I'm going to come over here to this elements button here. This is going to be your best friend if you're in Canva here. So you can access a lot of things from this button here. Mostly you're going to be using this elements button because it incorporates everything that you need to put into your designs besides text. So if you want to do a text box, like I mentioned earlier, and it's not here, so let's say I'm going to delete this by coming up here, delete that, and I'm doing that by hitting the trash can here if I was moving too fast for anybody. If I click on something, click the trash can, it'll delete it. So let's say I want to put my own text box in. So I'm going to come over here, hit text. I'm going to hit add a text box, and it's going to put a brand new text box in here for me. So now I can retype Dover Federal Credit Union. So now I have my own text. But let's say for some reason, I just accidentally deleted all that stuff and I worked so hard to get it. What can I do, right? You're going to come up to this button here, and it's an undo button. And you can click it as many times as you like. So as you can see, as I click it, it's getting rid of everything that I just did, right? So let's say I just accidentally deleted all that stuff and I didn't mean to, or I edited that flower and I didn't mean to. I can undo all of that, and it's literally going to take everything away that I just did. Makes it very easy for you to redo anything. But if you click too many times, you can do redo and it'll bring it right back. So like I said, very, very simple system and very easy to use. Anybody have any questions so far? Good. So I'm going to go over some elements that you can use in here to make some nice designs. So first I'm going to start with frames. So because everybody likes pictures, right? Pictures and photos of different things make elements and make content pop, right? So if you just simply come up to here and don't click anything, you're just going to click into elements. It's going to give you a bunch of different options to choose from that you can choose. So they have shapes, they have graphics, stickers, photos, videos, different charts, tables, frames. They have audio in here. They have grids. Canva has over 1 million different, as you can see, 90 million different graphics and images that you can use. So we're going to focus right now on frames, right? So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to just click frames. And as you can see, they have over a plethora of different categories that you can use for frames. So right now I'm going to pick this computer screen here, right? So let's say I want to get rid of this spring sale and get rid of that. And I want to put this computer in here. I made this bigger using the button at either the top right, top left, or bottom left or right. So I'm just simply clicking it and dragging it, and that's making it bigger or smaller. So I'm just simply moving that back and forth to make it bigger or smaller, right? So I'm gonna make sure that it's a nice size. I'm gonna take a couple of these flowers out to make some space. I'm gonna come over here and make sure that my computer screen is centered by clicking position, like I mentioned earlier, and hitting center. And now automatically moves it into the center. And I'm gonna click middle. So now it's in the middle of the screen, right? So now I like to put a picture in here, but how do I do that? There's no picture on the screen. You're gonna go back to elements, back to your home screen, and you're gonna type in, let's see, let's type in Delaware, see what they give us. So now, since I've typed Delaware into this element screen here, it's going to give me some search options for everything that they have to offer. So I have graphics that I can pick from, and those are normally, they look, they're not really like photo quality, but they're They kind of have this look like the flower does, right? Kind of gives you like a cartoony or maybe like a non-photorealistic look to them. They have photos, they have videos in here as well that you can see. A lot of it has that pro restriction on it, which is why, like I said, I vouch for the pro because you have access to all of this for no additional cost. They have different audio in here. They have shapes, well, not for Delaware, they don't, or frames, but as you can see, they have a bunch of different search options that you can do. So we're gonna go, and this you can. They really took that feature away. They used to be able to feature and take away any options that were not free, but it looks like they got rid of it. So I'm gonna pick the photo of the. I think this is the St. George's Bridge, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe in the River Bridge. But anyway, so I'm gonna click this and I'm gonna hover over this frame here, and it automatically drops it right into the frame. So now I have a nice computer screen with a image frame that I have in here. So I'm gonna double click this image and it's gonna bring up this menu here. So now if your photo's too big and you have something that is, so I'm gonna take it out here, show you. So if the photo's huge, right, and you have certain parts of it that you want to show, double clicking that allows you to move it around. So if I want the bottom of it to show, I can double click. I'll do that again. Just simply double click. And now I can move this up and down to show exactly what I want into this frame. So it makes it very, very easy way for you to add some different elements to your designs. I'll go back, I'll delete this one and just give you one more example. So let's say I want to make
2307121.
If someone has their speaker on, if they could mute themselves, maybe Tina, is it, you're the only one I'm showing it.
let's say I want to make a CDCC picture frame here. I can come over to letters. So they have different frames for letters, numbers, and like I said, they have a bunch of different options that you can choose from, but I'm going to show you this looks like here. So I have the word CDCC spelled out, and now I can put any image that I want into these, right? So you may be thinking, well, Taevann, what if I have some images that I have on my computer that I want to add? You're simply going to come over to uploads, hit upload files, and then it's going to access your computer or smartphone or tablet, whatever you're on, and give you the option to pick your own upload. So you can upload pictures in here. So let's see, I'm gonna see if I have something in here. Let's say I want to upload this picture of me. Got this nice picture, right? I simply just double click on it and now I have access to use this in Canva. So I can click on that and now it puts it into this template and allows for me to use it as an element. So I'm gonna put it over and now I throw it over into this frame. I can put it into all of these if I want. And now I can make myself a nice CDCC outline using those frames. So very easy, very simple for me to do, but you can, like I mentioned earlier, come over to frames and they have a bunch of different letters, a bunch of different numbers, a bunch of different shapes and sizes. They have rectangles, circles, stars, triangles. You think of it, they more than likely have it there. So very nice way for you to use photos within your design. All right. So does anybody have any questions so far?
Can you link those together and put one photo over all of them?
Can I link them together and put one?
You know how you
photo
can
all of
group,
them?
you can group things together and like,
So I've never tried that, but we can definitely try. So you're asking if I can link these together. So right now I'm gonna try to link these different elements together. And this is a little bit of a more
if it's too, we can just stay with basic. If that's okay. I didn't know.
no,
if
yeah,
there-
you're okay. I just
yeah.
I wanted to see. So and this is a nice thing for me to be able to show everyone. So as you can see, normally when you click things, you can only click one thing at a time, right? So let's say that I line these CDCC letters up perfectly and I don't want them to move one at a time, like I would here if I'm normally clicking through them when I'm going to click one thing. If you hit shift on your computer and then click multiple things or multiple elements, it's going to highlight all of those elements that you click while you're holding shift. If you undo shift and you click something, it's going to unclick them. So if I want to highlight the C, the D, the C, and the C, I simply hold down shift, and now all of these things are moved together. I can move them all at one time. They're not going anywhere. They're all together until I let go of the click and I re-click out of it, right? So let's say I want to group these together. You see this button here, it groups it. So now this is all one thing. So instead of me having to click it every single time, it's now grouped together. So if you ever have any elements that you want to put together or group so that they're not moving, you can simply click them all and then group them. If you do it by accident, you can simply ungroup it and it brings it back. So it groups it together, and then let's see if it will do it. No, I don't think that that is a feature, but I'll have to play around and get back to you for that because I feel like there's a way for you to do that. I just don't know how to do it because I've never used it before. So that's a great question though.
Thank you.
But the grouping, that was a good question. I was curious to see how that would work. Like if you put the whole state of Delaware, would
Right.
it filter over all of those letters, which would be great. But that group feature is super, it's a
Yes,
lifesaver.
it is a lifesaver. Yes, it allows you to a very nice shortcut for you to be able to move things together without having to move them all at once, right? So I want to, before I move on, I want to show you another way to click on things, click on elements and move them together. So let's say you have a flyer that has so much different elements in it, right? So let me come over here and I'm just going to start clicking stuff, right? I have a bunch of different elements in here, right? There's 50 different elements, right? How am I going to get in here and click maybe like this one in the back, right? It's going to be so hard for me to get into here and click in the back here. If you go to position and go over to layers, it's going to show you every individual layer that you have within this this field here, right? So if I want this dandelion that I can't necessarily get to, or maybe this maroon butterfly in the back, I can now click on that and it'll individually get that one that one element there. The reason why these are all movable is because this, like it says layers, it allows you to layer this. So if I want this big maroon or big burgundy butterfly in the front of all of these, I can simply click and drag it up to the front or the top, and it'll move it all the way up to the top for me. Or if I want it to be in the back, I can simply come back over to position and drag it under that. So very, like I said, click and drag, very easy way for you to get into moving things around. And I'll show how you would use layering and when we design our own flyer and show what that looks like and why it's important to be able to use that. All right. So before we move on, anybody have any questions about anything that we went over, or have any questions about anything that you see on the screen that I may not have went over that you would like to see? No? All right. So we're going to go out of here. So another thing I like about Canva is everything automatically saves for you. There's no need for you to click save or save as to share, because this is updating every time I do something, every time I delete. As long as you're connected to internet, it's going to save it for you, right? So if I can delete all these different things here, every time I move something or delete something, it's actively saving it. So if I click our menu button over here and click home, it takes me back to the home screen, but everything that you have created or even opened is now going to be in recent designs. You can click back on it and it's going to bring you right back into what you just had. No need to save anything. No need to worry about, oh, I forgot to save that and now it's gone. It automatically is going to save it for you. All right. So we're going to come into here and now we're going to make our own our live. We're going to start from scratch. Going to start a live design, right? So let's see, it's May. So Memorial Day is coming up. So we're going to make a flyer because I don't know if your business will be closed, but Dover Federal, we will not be open for Memorial Day. So I would like to make a flyer. Actually, we're going to do social media. That's on social media a lot. I'm going to type in social media. I'm going to hit search. I'm going to hit create a blank social media. So now it's giving me this blank canvas here that I can now use to make whatever I want, right? So we're going to start from scratch. And like I said, if anybody has any questions or need me to stop for any reason, just raise your hand, let me know, and I will do that. But we're going to create a live. Dover Federal is now closed for Memorial Day social media post, right? So at first, I'm going to start with my background. So this is white here. If you ever want to change this, there's a color button up here. It says background color. You click on that, and now you can make your background, change it from it being white. They have different gradients you can use, different solid colors, or if you want to change to any of the different document colors, as we mentioned earlier, you can do that. But let's say I want to make this black. I'm just going to hit that, and now it's now black. So I'm going to go to elements, and I'm going to type in Memorial Day. And now it's going to give me a bunch of different graphics, different photos, videos, what I'd like to use, but I want to find a photo. So I'm going to hit photo, and I'm going to scroll down until I find something that I like. And let's see, take this one here. So now I have this photo in my design field, and I can make it bigger. Simply drag it out to the edge. Bigger there. See how I have this guideline in the middle that shows me I'm right in the middle of my field. It has me in the middle as I bring it down to the center, and now has a line that comes through the horizontally and vertically that shows I'm right smack dab in the middle. Since that's not square, I'm going to use something else. Yeah, let's see. Try to get something that covers up the whole. So stretch this out, and it is okay sometimes if you make this, if these lines come out bigger than your space, you just want to make sure whatever you want showing is within within view, because if you save this, it's only going to show what's in this box here. Anything that's outside of this box, it will not show. So I'm going to stretch this out so that this flag is nice and big, and it's within this thing. So everybody saw how I just made that picture bigger and filled up all that space so no background is showing. So now this whole thing is here, right? But there's an easier way for me to do that actually, right? So I can come here, make it back to size. If I right click that, I can go down to where it says replace background. See, I just simply did that for me without me having to move that around. Now I can still double click like I did in the frames, and now I can move this around left to right. So if I want more tree and less flag, or if I want more flag or more sky and less tree, I can simply move that around. But instead of me having to resize it like I did before, I just simply right click, and I'm going to detach it because but hit replace background, and boom, it just made this the full background, and I can move this around. So I know I keep saying it over and over again, but very, very simple system to use once you get in and know where you're looking and knowing how to use it. All right. So now we have this photo here as our background, right? Nice photo, but doesn't have any text or anything that lets me know what it is, who it is, or who it's from, right? So I'm going to go over to text, and I'm going to add a text box. So I would like this to say, happy, I don't know, is it happy Memorial Day? Is that correct verbiage to use? I'm having a brain fart, Deb. Is it happy Memorial Day? You can do happy honoring Memorial Day, yeah. Yeah, in honor of Memorial Day. Honor of Memorial Day. So this is just so one, you can't really see this, and two, it's not really in an exciting font. So first I'm going to make it bigger, which I can do with a couple different things. Like I mentioned, I can use my plus minus. I can come in and type in a specific number, or I can even use my resize buttons, which are your circular buttons on your four corners, and I can make this bigger or smaller. Right, so I want that to be here. And I want to change the color of this because you can't really see it, right? So let's see. Nice thing I like about Canva as well, it picks up photo color. So if for some reason you want an element in your design to match one of the colors in your photo, it grabs the different colors that are in there. So I can change it to this reddish color that's in there. Any of these colors that are in this photo, it'll grab it and give me the option to change that. But I want this to be, let's see. Right now I want to do blue. I know you still can't see that, but work with me. I'm gonna show you a little something in a little bit. So that says in honor of Memorial Day, but I wanted a text box at the bottom that says we will be closed on, and then I'll get the date for Memorial Day. So I'll type in we will be closed on May the 26th. So we'll be closed on 5/26/2025, right? So I want you to notice how, because this text box only spans as far as this image does, and because my font was too big, it automatically wrapped my text down to the second line. So if you want to avoid that, I can either make this text box longer, but it cuts it off, so I can make this smaller so that it all fits on one line. And now this all fits on one line. But what if I want this to be on two lines, right? I can make this text box shorter so that it's now broken up into two lines, and then I can move it. Or if I want it to be on one line again, I can just simply make the text box larger again. So it does give you the option to move text boxes so that you can have two lines or more, depending on what you have typed in there. But because of the element of this design and the darkness of the trees, we'll have it for two lines, right? So just like in Word, you can make text bold, italicized, underlined. You can strike through. You can use it to make this uppercase or lowercase. Of course, you can left justify, center justify, right justify these using this button here. Of course, you have your bullets and your spacing. So if I want this, I have two lines here and I want this spacing to be very large, right? I can come over and increase that line spacing, or I can decrease it so that they're very close together. So that all that's done using this toolbox here at the top. Even with letter spacing, say I want my letters to be really spaced out, I can make them really spaced out using letter spacing, or I can make them really close together using letter spacing there as well. All right. So I have, in honor of Memorial Day, we will be closed. I have it nice and bold so people can see it. I don't have anybody calling saying, hey, I showed up at the bank at 9 o'clock and nobody was there. Closed. So I have it nice and bold there, but you still can't really see it, right? I'm also going to add a logo to here. So I'm going to come in and upload one of our logos here so that people know it's from us. They can't say, oh, I didn't know it was Dover Federal. It has your branding on it. Logos are a very, very good and easy way for you to brand and make content and make designs your own. So I'm going to come in here, get a logo. Be here. And now simply click on it, size it to where I want it to be, and I'll throw it into this right corner here. And now you know it's ours, right? It has our nice logo here in the right corner that you can see. And now you have made this flyer, right? But it's kind of still very hard to see, right? So I'll show you a little trick, because a lot of photos have things in them like these trees here that make, no matter what color I make this font here, it's going to be hard for me to see because of the way. If I do black, I do white, if I do a purple or a green or a blue, kind of really makes it hard. red honestly has a nice touch to it, so we'll do red. But it's still kind of hard to see. All right. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna come over to elements. Get out of here. I'm gonna come down to shapes. I'll type in shape. I can use any shape I want, but specifically I want a square. So I type square, and now it's going to give me, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to give me some different graphics, some different shapes, some different photos, frames, but I just want a simple old square. So now I have this square that is fully customizable. I can make it into a rectangle. I can make it into whatever I want, but I want it to cover up this whole thing here, right? So they're like, well, you just covered up the photo that we just picked out. Nice flag photo. I'm going to come over to this grid here, and this is going to change the transparency of this square, right? So because this square that we just chose is covering it up, which I wanted to do, I can now change the transparency of that square. So now the photo isn't as prominent, and it allows the fonts to stand out more, right? So I'll change the color of this square, and I can change this to any color I want so that it kind of pops more. So if you want this to be blue, and now has a blue transparency, and I'll kind of turn it down some so that it kind of sits over. So now I can make this green if I wanted. I could do black. I could do white. I could do purple. So just remember that if you ever want or have a photo that needs to have either logos, graphics, text sit on top of it, and it kind of is like the photo is just too loud, you can throw a square or any shape over it, change the transparency, pick a color, and now you have a screen per se, or a shadow screen over top of that photo that allows for you to continue to customize your design. So let's see. I think does the white or the blue look better? For time's sake, we're just going to go with the white. All right, so now instead of that photo went from that to that. So it kind of makes the text stick out a little bit. So as you notice, our logo though is kind of right? It's because it's behind the screen. So if I want to move this up, I'm simply going to come to position, go over to layers, because I can't click on this, right? It's not giving me the option to get it because this square is over top of it. So I'm going to come over to layers. I'm going to click our RD, and I'm going to move it above that. So now see how the change in color, see the difference between it being behind it and being on top of it. That's the importance of layering and making sure that things are above or behind certain elements so that they are where they're supposed to be. So this down a little bit, center that, make this a little bigger. And this tree is really really dark. I probably didn't pick the best photo to use, but just for time's sake, I'm going to continue to use it, right? So now we have this. In honor of Memorial Day, we will be closed on 5/26/2025, has our logo, has our branding, has all the information that you wanted to get across here. And let's say this is complete, this is finished, it has everything that you want to portray, and it's time for you to save. What do you do, right? So you're going to come over to share. And it gives you a couple different options here. So if the nice thing I like about Canva is that if you have multiple people working on a project, or multiple people that you would like to review a project or come in and take a look at a project, you can add different Canva users depending on the size of your account. And say I want to add Deb here, I could simply type in her email, Door FCU. It's going to share that. If I hit share, it'll send her a link to this very project, and she'll have the option based off of what I choose she can do to edit. So if you have someone that in your organization that you would like to work on something, you can simply share it with them using the link. Or if you just want to save it, we're going to hit download. And the style type is going to give you a bunch of different options for a way to share. So you have JPEG and PNG, which are your normal two photo types that 99% of the people use. You have PDF. So if you wanted to create a flyer that you're either going to print or display, you have PDF standard or PDF print. You can make videos in Canva. So hopefully the next time I come back, I can expand on what you can do in Canva and show you how to make a video. You can do a GIF, which I'll show you in a little bit what that looks like. But for right now, we're going to click PNG. Simply want to hit download. So load a little bit and let you know when it's done. And now it pops up, and now you have your file. So very simple to use. Okay. So I have about 10 minutes. So I just wanted to show you something really quickly here. So I'm going to come out and show the importance of using animated graphic compared to static. So we're going to come back to our spring sale example here. I want to, let's take this poster here, right? So we have this poster, and it's a nice poster. It has some nice colors in it, has a nice design element to it, but it's just flat, right? People scroll social media all day long, they see different things. And if your content doesn't have anything that pops off the page, people may just scroll by it, right? So instead of me having this flyer here, which I'll save as just a regular PNG, I was to post this on my Facebook or Instagram. It's just flat, right? As I scroll by this, oh, spring sale, cool. So if I come over to elements and I type in, let's say I want to do sale button. I simply type in sale button, and it's going to give me some different photos, some different graphics. Let's say I want to use this. It's hard because most of these are probably going to be, all right, here's a good one. It has this buy now graphic, right? And this is moving, as you can see, it's animated. So I say I want to get rid of that, get rid of this, and that, right? And I want this to be the center of my design. Now this is going to get someone's attention, right? Because it's moving around, it has something that captures their attention. So you can either do one or two things. You can share this and download it as a MPV video, or you can download it as a GIF. So the difference between the two is the MPV video has audio in it. You can put a song attached to it, different audio, or if you have a script that you would like to include, Canva does have those tools. So sometimes I do come over to apps, and this is because it's included in my paid version. You can use AI voice. So I can simply type in, we are having a 50% sale. I would hit generate AI voice, customize it to what I want it to sound like. It will create, it's going to create a audio file for me. I can implement it into this design, save it, and now this poster that was just flat before now has a moving part and it has audio. So a lot of different things that you can use in Canva once you really break down. I could sit here all day and show you what everything that they have. So I invite you to come in to Canva, and you get a free 30-day trial of Pro for free. Just come in there and work around, see what they have, because there's so much different things you can use to elevate your business content. So we want to save this, right? I'm going to save this as a GIF, hit download. Good old time. And now instead of that flat spring sale poster that we had, we now have this moving gift that I can now post. And now this is going to attract more engagement, have people kind of stop if they're scrolling and they're just laying in bed and they're in a car and they're on lunch and they're mindlessly scrolling. This will at least kind of get them to, oh, what's this? Kind of stop and look and see what is in this content. So just be wary of always making static content, which static means that it's not moving, it's flat, doesn't have any moving elements compared to animated. So, and all I did was literally just search up sale button and just kind of look through and see what they had. And I found my own animated element there. Anybody have any questions for me? All right. So we're just going to recap. So again, Canva is a free and simple drag and click design system that definitely benefits your business once you know how to use it, where to go, and how to maneuver it. It can be used to create all designs from flyers, videos, posters, social media graphics. Use your templates. Templates allow for a creative head start. So instead of starting from scratch, which I believe is I'm just now within the past year or so starting to design things from scratch, but it is if you're not used to being able to design things from scratch, it is something that is a little bit more difficult than being able to use a template. So if you have the option to use templates, I think you should use them because those people were paid and that's what they do for a living. They make things so that they're visually appealing, right? If you're going to use the paid version, make sure you use a brand kit to stay consistent with your logos, photos, fonts, and different colors like we mentioned before. Canva, you can use images, text, frames, and different icons to grab your audience's attention to make sure that your graphic stands out and it's not just something that people want to scroll by. And last but not least, if you can use it, movement is key. Make sure that it grabs people's attention. So you're going to use animated content compared to static because it makes sure that it catches people's eye. I have this link here. This is Canva's School of Design. So if I take this link, copy it, come over here, paste it in here. Canva has thousands of the tutorials that you can use in their design school so that you can come in here and learn how to design anything you like. There's a bunch of different courses. They have different lessons in here for you to use, and this is all free. This is all a free resource for you to use within Canva. So I know I didn't cover a lot today. I covered just the basics, but there's so many different things that you can do in Canva when it comes to creating graphics, graphs, tables, reports, anything that you would like to create, you can do it in Canva. And this design school allows you to learn how to do that. So make sure you use that free resource if you're going to use Canva. It's definitely a great tool to use. And I thank you for taking your time out this morning, out of your busy mornings to, yeah, what's up?
All right, so we have a question that came in. It says, I apologize if you already answered this, but will this video be available to view again? Lots of good info that I will need as I play with Canva. And I'll let Cindy answer that.
Yes, but it won't be till next week. Crystal's the one that does that and she's on vacation and won't be back to work till Monday or Tuesday.
So would you email the link out to the attendees or how would we get that?
It is on our website. If you go under education and then look under coffee coaching, every one that we've done is on there that you can just click and watch.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, just give me a call or shoot me an email.
I'm
Thanks so
going
much,
to-
Taevann, for doing this today. It's really been great and helpful. So I'm excited to start playing around with some of the things that you showed us, and we want you to come back and do a video one too. So a video
I'd be
training
I'd
one
be
for
I'd
sure.
be elated to come
I
back
can
and do
only
one.
see a couple of people, but I bet there's a lot of people nodding their heads
Yes.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you guys. It was a pleasure coming and doing this, and I'm gonna put my email in the as soon as I can get that. Stop share. I'm
Can
gonna put
you,
my email in the chat, so if anybody has any questions, they can simply just email me, and I'd be glad to help.
also, can you put it in the chat, the canva.com design? I didn't get it all written down.
Yes. So I'll just put the email, my email, and then the design school link in the chat as well.
Design school. Yeah, I will have you back. We'll have to just pick a date.
Yeah, you guys let me know when you like me back,
Yeah.
and I will make sure that I am here. I love Canva. Like I said, I use it literally every day, and I only went over about like 5% of the stuff that I do in Canva today. But once you learn the basics, of course, then you gotta walk before you can or crawl before you can walk, as they say. So
Right.
but yeah, let me know whenever you like me back, and we can continue. We can make this a series.
Yeah, we could do that.
Hey, Vaughn,
Anybody else?
this is Jessica from Willow. I just wanted to add one more compliment to the toolbox, and that is not only was the content very valuable, like everyone is saying, and we're eager to hear more, learn more, play with it more, but you did a wonderful job presenting. I watch and engage with people all the time. You did a really great job. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
I second that.
Does anyone else have any questions or?
I did ask, sorry, with Canva, is there a limit to how much it stores? You seem like you use it quite a bit and you're making a lot of content. Do you have kind of a storage capacity with Canva?
I do not believe so. If I switch over to, I'll just show you real quick.
At this point, we probably have 2 years worth of images and videos just in our active directory on Canva. So I believe it's cloud-based to some degree as far as how they store things, but we've not gotten into that predicament yet. Knock on wood, we'll go to work in it today and we might have that happen. But at this point, we have a minimum of 2 years worth of images, which, as you know, imagery takes up like a ton of space, right, on your computer and so
Absolutely.
forth. And we've not run into that predicament yet. And that includes even videos. We have PowerPoint presentations saved on here. So the amount of space that we've been able to keep on here so far has been really good to us.
So I just pulled up the our plan. So we are, I believe, on the so for Canva Pro, it's $120 per year. So it's $10 a month. You have unlimited premium templates, over access to all of the different photos, and you get 1 terabyte of cloud storage. So if anybody knows about file sizing, a terabyte would take you probably years to get through
Yeah, it's a good bit of
terabyte of
storage.
stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of storage. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about running out of anything. But even if you use the free version, right, it's just $0 per year, you get 5 GB, which is still a lot of information cloud. You can continue to use it. Obviously, you just can't store it there. You'd have to, if you eventually run out of 5 GB, you just have to delete it in Canva once you downloaded it, and then continue to design. So you still get a lot of storage even if you're not using the pro version.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. I appreciate everyone for coming out and spending your morning with me. Like I said, if you have any questions, I did put my email in the chat. Feel free to shoot me over an email with any questions, and I look forward to coming back. And till next time, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right, have a nice day, everyone.
Bye. Oh, that was pretty good.